Alright, so this is the model kit figure review for 30-minute fantasy Liber Bishop. So here is the silhouette and the box. And as per usual, let's get a closer look at the box. So there is Bishop in all of his glory. Liber Bishop, blue Bandai. Here is this side of the box. Here is this side. And you see everything you get. So you get Liber Priest and Bishop. No glue required, only snippers, which is amazing. And just a bunch of stuff. And then the other side, armor class, job change, Liber Priest, class 1. Armor cross, job change, Liber Bishop. And he does have his element core, which is water, which, where have we seen that before? So, anyway, here is the silhouette for Priest. And if Priest at all looks familiar, that's because Priest and Liber Knight share the exact same body type, which I'm dubbing it the lean agile type. I don't know if it actually has a name for it or not, but that's what I'm going with. So they both have the same quality. I think his hands are different. I think. They might be the same though. But yeah, they're both the same. So there you go. And just in case you didn't see my Holy Liber Knight review, articulation, arms, full 360, arm can go out that far, bend at the elbow, wrist has articulation, leg up that far, bend at the elbow that far, and you do have some movement with the foot. And head is on a full 360, so whoo, you know, he can be an owl if he wishes. But that's about it for this silhouette. So, for size comparison, here he is with the Deluxe Class Transformer. So you can get a sense of scale for that. And here he is next to Avatar Fumina. And there you go. So, with that out of the way, let's class change him, shall we? And here is everything you need in order to class change Priest. A lot less pieces than Warrior over here, and a lot less pieces than Knight. But anyway, let's get started. So, to prepare the silhouette, all we're really going to need to do is take off his mask and take off his breastplate. Thank you. And then obviously just move these bits so that they're more exposed. But obviously if you don't have that, then you need to pull them apart and then add these pieces. But I don't do that because I think it's a waste. But anyway, that's all we really need to do because we don't really need to take them apart. So let's start from the legs and work our way up. Just peg this on, that on, spread out the arms. So I can put this coat piece on, wrap it around, and put this piece on the crotch. So you have that. And then we want to take this back piece, spread it open. You can put his arms down, plug it on to the back, and then we don't want to move those in yet. Plug this into the back, much like the rest. And then plug this onto the chest, like so. Give him some shoulder armor. There's some upper arm armor. No, these don't need to be out yet. So we can actually move them down. He only gets his upper arms armored up. Okay, and then we just move these up and around so they don't get in the way. Like so. a good priest needs his staff, so just unpeg this bottom piece from the stick, feed the stick through the hand, plug the bottom piece in, so then that way, even if it's all the way down, it's still in his hand. Take notes, knight and warrior. And now we plug on this mouthpiece. I think I am going to take off the head at least, because it'll be easier. Plug in the new mouthpiece. No, I have it done the wrong way. Or not? No, it's just throwing a fit. There we go. So he gets a new mouth plate. Peg this into the back of his head. And then plug this onto the front. Then reattach the head. And there is Liber Priest in all of his support class glory. And he's pretty cool. He's not as armored up as the other two. Excuse me. But he is fairly simple, and that's okay. So let's get up close at those deets. So you can still see his blue eyes kind of clearly, but not. His core of water is perfectly in the center. He's got a bunch of blue cloth bits all around. These things. And then you got his water staff with a blue crystal in it. So articulation is kind of null and void, as expected, since he now has shoulder armor and a waistcloth. So, but he can still do some poses, and has some posability options if you so choose. But now, I'm going to put him back, and let's bring in the other two. Shall we? And here are all three of the Libers in their awesome glory. I find it weird that two of these guys are water element, whereas the other one is earth. But, what can you do? This party is not really that balanced. Granted, if he's more of a tank role, and he's more of an attack role, then I guess that makes sense, but, whatever. But anyway, now that the comparison is done, here's Trigger Happy, just so you can get a sense of scale again. These guys don't really gain any height, they just gain bulk, so, But anyway, we're not done with Priest here, because Priest can class change again. And here is everything you'll need to get Priest into Bishop form. So, let's start. So, to start with, we're going to want to take Priest apart just a little bit. We're going to want to take this front piece off of his head. That gets removed. And then we're also going to want to take this piece off as well on his chest. And then, finally, we're going to want to remove this stick bit as well. But we can leave everything else. And then now we're going to want to turn this purple piece around. Alright. Let's start with the weapon first, just so it doesn't fly off. Peg the sculpt bit in, so it makes the staff longer. And then bring this piece in, and close it around the stick. So there you have that. And then just give him some armor on his wrists. Give him a new chest piece. Give him some shin armor. I think that's the right way to put it in. Put this small piece on the crotch plate. He gets a giant backpack that's basically a shell. Peg meets peg hole. Do this for the other side. And then give him his crown. And bada bing, bada boom. There you have Liber Bishop in his class 3 form. And this is pretty cool. So the only pieces you really take away from him are like 3 pieces. So, and you don't have to, move anything or take him apart completely. You just add stuff on, and that's awesome. Even the weapon can, be modulated like that. So let's get in close here, have those no deets. So you can see, let's have the weapon down so you can see his crown. All its glory. And yes, for eagle-eyed viewers, or viewers that have watched Holy Liber Knight, his gold is much different than Holy Liber Knight's. And I think that's cool. Still the same posability as before, because nothing really gets added that would hinder that, aside from maybe these, but anyway. Let's get a look at all 3 of their Class 3 forms. Here we have Holy Liber Knight and Liber Warrior. And this trio of Class 3 looks amazing together. They look like an RPG party, and that's awesome. If I'm being honest, I would 1,000,000% play a game with the Libers or Rosans and go into that. I wonder if someone would make a game on that. I hope so. Just as long as it's fun. I can definitely foresee it being turn-based, though, and not action-based. Granted, these 2 would definitely be action-oriented, and, well, he wouldn't be. But anyway, there you go. So, that has been my model kit figure review on 30-Minute Fantasy Liber Bishop. Now, unlike Knight and unlike Warrior, Priest doesn't really have a secondary Class 3 to go into, which is rather unfortunate. So, but when information does come out that we get a secondary form for him, I will more than likely grab a second Priest and then have that form as well. But anyway, I think that'll be about it from me.